Hello everybody, welcome back to the Lord of the Rings The Third Age walkthrough. We are, I don't know, somewhere in the middle of Eastern Moria. Yeah, I think we're on the trail of the Balrog. Who even? Alright, let's track this guy down. Let's get a hold of him. Make him pay for this fire damage. No one likes an arsonist Balrog. Alright. I think this is the first... Yeah, I think this is the first troll. Shield piercing. Okay, cool. Learn a new skill. It's always fun, right? These guys, I believe, are immune to stun as well as sleep. Wow, learned Hue armor. That's kind of cool. Those two learned their armor reduction skills at basically the exact same time. Yeah, so this should be immune. Yep, there you go. So, immune. They can be... You can use paralyzing shot on them if you've got it. And that will seal their melee abilities, and since that's the only thing that they have, that will make them waste turns. So if you want to, avoid damage from these guys, I would recommend doing that. Crippling, any of the crippling strikes or crippling shot will work fairly well too. Oh, swing and a miss. So, if I remember right, this guy doesn't ever even get a turn. But we will see. There's the wounding strike. Alright, let's get Berethor in here. Started off the right way with Company of Valor. Alright, what's next? Ooh. So many fun choices. Here we go. Here's another. Oh, whiff. Now, yep, that's what I thought. I saw that coming. Usually anytime one of my characters miss that hasn't been buffed, then I'll toss the Valor out with Berethor. And I really need to get Company Might on, so hopefully I'll put that on here too. And I'm not going to. This would have actually been a pretty decent fight to do the full buff with Valor, Might, and Fellowship Grace. I'm not really sure why I didn't do that. Maybe I didn't expect to... yeah, I don't know. Maybe I didn't expect to farm too much for, and when I say farm, I mean farm skill points. Old Toby. Busting out the old Toby crafts as usual. I do want to mention, we talked a little bit about it in one of the previous videos, and I had questioned whether or not Old Toby was less effective than like King's Foil or Lembas, and it is not. It's essentially like a Lembas and a King's Foil put together. So, in all honesty, there's no reason once you're able to craft it, there's no reason to craft either of the other two. So. That can be laid to rest. I guess one other interesting fact about item usage as well is actually that Company Might affects your items as well. So if you just use, say, an Old Toby, and I don't know, I should probably test you know, how much it would give you for a base. But anyways, if you use Company Might and then you use that same old Toby, it will be more effective. So it'll actually restore more health and more AP. So that knowledge can come in handy, especially when you're farming skill points and whatnot. Basically, Company Might is just ridiculous. It affects pretty much everything. I mean, you know, when I say that, I mean it affects your damage. It affects I believe it affects the healing that you do. So it makes heals more effective, and it makes items more effective. So yeah, so it's just super ridiculous. It's so good. Find Balin's War Axe. Okay, did I just get another axe? That thing is garbage. No thanks. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think I'm gonna be using that. That's one of those rare cases where you actually find a weapon and it's nowhere near as good as what we've already got. I mean, normally when you find something, it's there's a good chance that it's an upgrade, but obviously, yeah, in this case it is not at all. That thing is completely garbage. Alright, here we've got a treasure that is guarded by, I don't know, some creepy weird goblin things. Yeah, okay, same thing. We've seen these guys before, nothing new here. Start this off right with Company Valor. Takes a sleep arrow on, I don't know, neither of these two targets are a threat at all. But Ooh, armor? That's a weird start. Normally I would cripple these, but I guess I didn't even care if these things were able to hit me or not. Like I said, normally what I would do would be to just try to make sure that the enemies don't get turns at all and just avoid damage altogether, but it looks like in this case I just didn't even really care. And yeah, it's looking like I'm going to go for a quick win here and not, I'm not going to probably be buffing much. Looks like I'll craft up a little old Toby. And there's Valinor Guidance. That item, it says it increases your initiative, and it seems to me, when I used it, it seemed like the charge, like my reuse time on some skills, like we'll say Elagos, for example, and his Arrows of Sleep. Normally that would take a really long time to recharge, and it would take a long time for him to get his turn again, but it seemed to me that when I used that Valor Guidance item on him, it seemed like his recharge time was faster, so I could hit enemies with Sleep Arrow, and then he would get his next turn even faster than he normally would. So I guess, I don't know, is that what they were going for when they say initiative? I don't know. Anyways, I actually don't typically use those. There's so many of these items now, these crafted items, that I just honestly I don't really use. And I'm not really sure why. I guess a lot of times I just don't think about it. But there's plenty of times where those certain items will definitely come in handy. So. Ooh, all right. Got the Company Might going. Ah, okay. That's what I did. I didn't see that I had Company Grace up as well. So looks like I just wanted to get a tick or two of AP before I finish this off. Not a bad plan. Not a bad plan. Annihilation. Love that skill. It's so good. Ooh, breaking out the blinding shot to finish him off. Snazzy finish, I guess. Oops. Alrighty. Let's see what we got here. Leaves of Old Toby. Really? And Morgul Decay. So Morgul Decay is actually a fairly decent item. That strips your target of all of its armor. I'll be honest, I rarely use them. Once again, most likely because I really don't tend to use items a whole lot, and that's, you know, it's not something that I would recommend. But it's I would say that those are one of the more useful items in the game, though. And unfortunately, you can't craft those. So they are they're not limited by any means. There is a way with our actually next character. Once we get her, we will be able to steal items from enemies, and that's one of the items that you can steal later on in the game. But all right, looks like we've got a dual wielding vet. So we're gonna put that guy to sleep. And then proceed with the buffs. All right. Got the Valor going, got the Might going. See if I throw in Grace for good measure. It's typically, that's my buff. Yeah, there we go. So that's the order that I really like to buff in. It's nice that I finally started doing that. It ends up just working out really well. That way you get the most benefit from Grace if you buff in that order. You know, it's a fairly expensive buff. I mean, 90 AP, so you really want to get everything that you can out of it. And as long as you've got company might up, it more than pays for itself. I think. Big old miss. And that is because he doesn't have Valor. So that's the big problem too with and maybe why I kind of like to do things a little bit differently now. But with these four characters, typically I like to have Barathor, and then Hadhod in the middle, and then Elagast on the far side. And what I do is I like to start out with those three, and then buff with Valor, buff Might, and then buff Grace. And then, you know, I normally cripple with Elagast, or Sleep Arrow if that's necessary. But I cripple with Hadhod as well, and you know, because they've got Valor on, he tends to actually connect. And then what I normally would do then is once kind of like the battle's under control, then I'll swap Idril in. And either use a stunning strike with her, although that's super rare now, or I'll just buff like you know, a Haste of the Elves or something like that. And then before the battle is over, I'll swap her back out with Hadhod so that I can start the next battle with him on the front line. So that's usually how I'm doing things now, or how the flow of my battle is going these days. And I feel like it works really well. All right, and then being that we're able to craft all these fancy, nice items, we might as well use them, right? And man, this place is just huge. All right, looks like we got a treasure chest up here. And a fixed encounter. Oh. But see, I think two dual wielding guys. Wow, Elagos got really low. Luckily, this guy didn't target him too, otherwise he would have been dead. And, yep, Hadhod is stunned. So that's unfortunate, but them's the breaks, I guess. That those, you know, the enemies got the turns first. I'm not sure if I needed to use Gifted Galadriel there. Her spirit is so high that Gift of Elrond restores a ton of health, but anyways. Alright. Oh man. What a horrible start. So that's a really rough start to a battle. One person stunned. I had to swap in Idril to heal right away. And then I missed with Sleep Arrow. So now Elagos is gonna have a really long, you know, essentially like a recharge time. So he's not going to be able to get his next turn for a while these guys are just... Well, I guess that guy didn't attack me, but... Anyways. Really bad start. Luckily, you know, again, if Elagos would have been targeted by all three, he would have died for sure. Oh, flames have Odin. One cool thing that I noticed about these guys is they at least didn't make the, or it didn't seem to me that they didn't make the, what is it, this caster guy. He won't ever buff his group buff more than once, which seems to me that when you play evil mode, sometimes the heroes will do really stupid things like drain inspiration multiple times in a row. You know, where that doesn't make that much sense. And you know, I don't know. I guess yeah, it does take your spirit powers away from your characters, and most times it doesn't really make a difference. Whereas again here, you know, it feels like they at least programmed them in a more efficient way anyway, so that they're not just using stupid, pointless stuff over and over. Oh, stun strike again. Did I? Oh, yep. Okay, we are immune now. All right, I missed. I must not stand fast. Barathor must have thrown that in there somewhere where I wasn't paying attention. So, again, missing with Elagos, that was actually huge. That was a significant time waster. I don't know, waste of time. Anyway, and now it's looking like we're doing okay. If we can get this guy slept too, that'll be really nice. And we can focus on taking down this caster. There we go. Yeah, I don't know. It's such a... That's huge when Elagos missed something like that. I don't know if I can stress that much more, but again, that's a huge deal. Boom! I love that skill. That looks so cool. Alright. Later on here, maybe in the next video, maybe I'll have a little rundown on Barathor's Warcry and Warcall. And what I mean by that is I kind of want to get all my characters, like I want to get all of their skills and then use Warcall with, you know, Warcall and Warcry when they've got all their skills, just to see exactly what skills they use. Because I feel like they change a bit, you know, depending on what skills your characters actually have. Obviously, they're not going to be able to use something that they haven't obtained yet. So, I kind of want to get that down and see exactly what everybody uses. So again, hopefully within the next video or two, I'll have all that information. For the most part, you know, I don't know how useful that information is going to be right now because, I mean, this early in the game, like, yeah, I guess I've got a lot of the character's skills already. But a lot of times, you know, and especially if you're watching this, there's a good chance that you're not going to have a lot of these skills yet. So hopefully, you know, it won't take too long, though. And, you know, I think that'll make a decent addition to a video. some good information. Typically, I like to toss that kind of stuff in here and there, and not just necessarily focus on the battle at hand. You know, a lot of these battles are with enemies that we've already run across time and time again. So there really isn't much as far as you know, new tactics or anything like that. I still need to chat about which of Barathor's buffs last or persist. It seems to me that it's only Company Might, Stand Fast, and Company Valor. So there's only actually 3 buffs of his that'll last the entire duration of combat. Now, that being said, that's not to say that his other buffs aren't useful, because they are insanely useful. But, you know, unfortunately, they just don't last the whole time. Fellowship Grace is a good example of that. Sure, it doesn't last, you know, all or the entire duration of combat, but man, is it useful. Alright, Arrow Flurry. I think that signals the end of this fight. Let's see if he can do it. Nice! Alright, finishes them both off. There's an epic ending, huh? Alright, let's see what we got in this chest. What did we earn here for all of our hard work? Cracked Elfstone of Blunt Defense. Womp womp. Alright. I'm trying to think if there's anybody that actually starts with a weakness to blunt, and I'm not sure that that's the case. Although, so blunt defense, that should mean that that would raise a character's defense against the trolls, because the trolls have clubs, and I believe those are considered blunt weapons. So it may not be the worst thing to equip. And alright, Third Age Belt Buckle of Moria Steel. Don't remember if this one was good or not. Oh, it looks like it is kind of guarded though. Surprise! Alright, a couple of dual wielding dudes. Let's put these baddies to sleep. And hopefully not miss this time, right? Crippling Smash. Oh, big whiff. Hadhod letting me down. You're off the team. Just kidding. Hadhod is way too cool. I still like him. There we go. A fine hit. Alright. Oh, I'm surprised I didn't bring in Idril yet. Oh man. Yeah, look at that. He's really whiffing big time. So, part of the problem, obviously, is I'm not putting any points into Hadhod's dexterity. And then on top of that is he's he's quite a bit behind the other characters still. And so, you know, just with those probably 5 or so levels that he's behind, hopefully he would get a little bit of dexterity in there, and that may, you know, help his accuracy. And that is what happens when you don't cripple. Barathor gets stunned. This is why we can't have nice things. Because Barathor gets stunned. I think I expected to finish that guy off with Hadhad with his spirit power there, but well, that didn't happen, did it? That's what's up. Idril shows Hadhad what's going on. She knows what's going down. And then here you go. Here's finally a good example of me doing something right. I woke that guy up with a crippling shot so that he wouldn't get a hit or a turn right away. Because, you know, once again, if you do wake an enemy up with something else, it'll take a turn right away. Normally smack you in the face for it. Why you not play good? I hit you now. Okay, bye. Oh, I'm terrible. Oh no! Alright, that's the end of that. Alrighty, Elagos level, Idril level, Barathor level too? Sure looked like it. All kinds of people leveling up. Alright, let's see what Hadhad's got here. Oh, nice. Alright, that's a big chunk of dexterity there. I don't know if I did. Yeah, that's a tough sell because so that thing's got 2 speed and 5 spirit, so that's a tough one. This is a good belt buckle though, I will say that. The dexterity is nice. Anyways, I am gonna cut this video here, so I hope you guys are liking these videos and hope you join me for more. Alright, thanks for watching.